Lovely viewers, grab a seat because what you are about to hear will leave you absolutely speechless. If you thought you had seen every romantic gesture from Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo, think again, because today's revelation has left fans crying tears of pure emotion. Yes, you heard that right. Lee Min-ho has written an emotional letter to Song Hye Kyo, and the words inside this heartfelt note have set the entire internet ablaze with emotions that are too strong to put into words. People are literally saying they can't stop sobbing after reading just a few lines of what Lee Min-ho poured out from the depths of his heart. Can you believe this, lovely family? This isn't just any message. This is a love letter that speaks volumes, a confession so raw, so sincere, that it feels like a movie scene, but it's real life unfolding right before our eyes. Now picture this. The world has been buzzing about their relationship, the ups, the downs, the breathtaking wedding that had the whole of Asia holding its breath, the private vacations, the luxury lifestyle, the way they look at each other with so much tenderness. But this is something different. A handwritten letter, in an age where people prefer texts and emojis, carries an intimacy that words on a screen can never match. Lee Min-ho didn't just type a few words on his phone and hit send. No, he sat down, picked up a pen, and wrote his heart out for Song Hye Kyo. Can you feel the weight of that, my dear viewers? Because the fans definitely can. People on social media are saying they cried after reading translations of the letter. And honestly, after hearing what's inside, you might need a box of tissues too. So how did this emotional bombshell even get out? Well, from what insiders are saying, the letter was never meant for public eyes. It was something private, something deeply personal. But somehow, a few snippets made their way online, and now the entire fandom is in pieces. The handwriting, the delicate words, the emotions dripping from every sentence. It's all there. And let me tell you, every single fan is screaming, "This is the romance we dream about." Lee Min-ho reportedly started the letter by expressing gratitude to Song Hye Kyo for being his strength, his safe place, and his greatest joy. He said something along the lines of, "When I look at you, I see everything I ever prayed for." Can you imagine reading that from someone you love? No wonder fans are melting. But it didn't stop there. He went even deeper, confessing fears, hopes, and promises for the future. He talked about how meeting her changed his life completely and how he never believed in fate until she walked into his world. Doesn't that sound like something out of a K-drama? People are saying this is even better than the romantic scripts he's acted in. And get this, in the letter, he wrote a line that sent everyone into an emotional spiral. "If tomorrow never comes, I want you to know that loving you was my greatest achievement." I'm telling you, lovely viewers, people on social media have turned that into their profile captions, wallpapers, and even tattoos. The emotional wave this letter has created is something we haven't seen in years. Now, fans are also reacting in the most adorable ways. Some are writing their own letters, inspired by Lee Min-ho, and sharing them online. Others are creating fan art of him holding the letter with Song Hye Kyo smiling in the background. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, this story is trending everywhere. Hashtags like hashtag Minho letter to Hye Kyo, hashtag fans crying, and hashtag KDrama in real life are blowing up with millions of posts. And the comments, they are just filled with pure love and tears. People are saying things like, "If this isn't love, then what is?" And he didn't just write a letter, he wrote history. Lovely viewers, doesn't that give you chills? Now, imagine being Song Hye Kyo and opening a letter like that. The emotional weight, the sincerity, the love in every stroke of the pen. How do you even respond to something like that? According to some sources close to the couple, she was overwhelmed, deeply touched, and even cried while reading it. In fact, insiders say that after reading the letter, she hugged him tightly and whispered something emotional back. What did she say? That's the big question everyone is dying to know. Some believe she said, "I'll keep this forever," while others think she replied with an emotional note of her own. But what's certain is that this letter has strengthened their bond in a way nothing else could. And let's talk about the timing of this, because that's what has everyone speculating. Why now? Why write such a deeply emotional letter at this moment? Some fans believe it's because they are celebrating a milestone in their relationship, maybe an anniversary or something big in their personal life. Others think it's Lee Min-ho's way of reassuring Song Hye Kyo amidst all the rumors and media pressure. You know how intense the spotlight can be when two of the biggest stars in Korea are in love, right? So maybe this is his way of saying, No matter what the world says, my heart belongs to you. And honestly, that makes it even more romantic. Lovely viewers, let's dive even deeper because the more you hear, the more your heart will melt. There's a part in the letter where he reportedly wrote about their future together. And when I say future, I mean everything. Growing old together, building memories, and even raising a family. Yes, you heard that right. Fans are already screaming, "Is this a hint at baby news?" Because his words were something like, "I can't wait for the day when we sit under the same sky, watching our children laugh, knowing that every sacrifice was worth it because it led me to you." My goodness. Can someone check my pulse? Because that's too much sweetness for one day. People are literally saying this man has set the bar for romance so high that nobody else can compete. As soon as snippets of this letter surfaced, fan theories went wild. Some say he wrote it during a recent trip they took together, while others believe he wrote it late at night after watching her sleep, like something out of a romantic drama. And the best part, the actual letter hasn't been fully revealed, which means fans are piecing it together from small lines that leaked. This mystery is making it even more emotional because everyone is wondering what else is inside. Did he write a poem? Did he include a little sketch? Did he sign it with something like, "Forever yours"? The curiosity is killing everyone, and the fandom is on fire. Social media is flooded with fan reactions like, "This man is a walking romance novel," and "Song Hye Kyo, you are the luckiest woman alive." But you know what really broke fans? It's the fact that Lee Min-ho actually sealed the letter with a personal touch. Some reports claim he sprayed his signature cologne on it so that whenever Song Hye Kyo reads it, she feels like he's right there with her. Isn't that the most romantic detail you've ever heard? People are calling it the ultimate boyfriend move, and honestly, I agree. Lovely viewers, as we continue, let me ask you, what would you do if someone wrote you a letter like that? Would you cry? Frame it? Read it every night before bed? Because fans are saying Song Hye Kyo will treasure this letter for life. And you know what? You should. Because gestures like these are rare in today's world, especially from global superstars who could easily send a quick text. The fact that Lee Min-ho took time to write this by hand speaks volumes about his feelings for her. It's not just romance, it's commitment, effort, and love in its purest form. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. People are wondering if this letter might become part of something bigger. Could Lee Min-ho turn his words into a song or include them in a project dedicated to Song Hye Kyo? After all, we know he has a deep creative side, and this letter sounds poetic enough to become lyrics. Imagine hearing these words in a ballad sung by him. The world would literally stop. Fans are already begging for it, and some have even started petitions online asking him to publish the letter or turn it into an art piece. The excitement just keeps growing. And before we wrap up, I want to hear from you, my lovely viewers. What's your favorite line from the letter so far? Which part made you cry the most? Do you think gestures like this are what keep relationships strong in the midst of fame and pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning because this love story is writing itself in the most beautiful way possible. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo have shown us that true love isn't about grand gestures alone. It's about sincerity, effort, and never forgetting the small, meaningful things. And this letter, it's proof that their love isn't just surviving, it's thriving, stronger than ever. What you're about to hear will make your heart swell even more. You see, after the first lines of this letter surfaced, fans thought they had seen the best part. But oh no, that was just the beginning. The deeper parts of this letter are what truly broke the internet, because they reveal not just Lee Min-ho's love for Song Hye Kyo, but his vulnerability, his fears, and his dreams in a way that feels so raw and human that people can't stop talking about it. Reports suggest that somewhere in the middle of the letter, he wrote something like this: "I know the world sees us as perfect, like characters in a fairy tale, but you and I know the truth. We've faced storms, doubts, and moments when the weight of the world tried to pull us apart. But every time, I looked into your eyes and found my reason to keep going." Lovely viewers, can you feel that? That's not just a line from a letter. That's a man pouring his entire soul into words for the woman he loves. And fans are saying, this is why we believe in love again. Now, here's the part that completely broke everyone. The signature. According to the insider leak, Lee Min-ho signed the letter not just with his name, but with a small drawing of two hands holding each other. People are calling it the sweetest little detail ever, because it shows that his love isn't just about saying it, it's about showing it in every little way. Some even speculate that this drawing represents their promise to always hold on to each other no matter what life throws at them. And honestly, isn't that just beautiful? But let's talk about the reaction of Song Hye Kyo. Fans have been analyzing every single thing she's posted on social media since the news broke. And guess what? Just hours after the leak, she posted a simple photo of the sky with a heart emoji. That's it. No caption, no words, just that. And fans went crazy connecting the dots, saying, "This is her way of telling us she's happy and in love." Do you believe that, lovely viewers? Because if you ask me, it's hard to think it's a coincidence. And speaking of reactions, let's not forget the fans. People have been making reaction videos on TikTok, crying their eyes out, reading the snippets aloud as if they were love poems. Some have even started trends like Read Lee Min-ho's Letter Challenge, where they try to read it without crying. And guess what? No one can do it. That's how powerful this letter is. Even celebrities have started reacting. Rumor has it that some of their close friends commented privately, saying things like, "This is the Lee Min-ho we know, the man who loves deeply." Now let's go even deeper because there's another detail that fans noticed. The paper itself wasn't just plain white paper. Sources say it was a special stationery set that Lee Min-ho had custom made. It had their initials engraved in gold at the top, L and H. Can you imagine the effort he put into making this perfect? He didn't just write a letter. He created a keepsake, something Song Hye Kyo will treasure forever. People are saying this letter will probably be framed in their home someday. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Lovely viewers, if you thought the emotional ride ends here, oh no, it gets even sweeter. The letter reportedly ended with a promise. And not just any promise, but something that made fans wonder if they're planning something big. The final line was something like, "I promise that every chapter of my life from this moment on will have you in it. Until my last breath, it's you." Oh my goodness, are you crying yet? Because I know fans everywhere are saying this sounds like wedding vows. And now the speculation about a second wedding ceremony or a vow renewal is stronger than ever. And let me tell you, fans aren't just crying. They're organizing things. There are fan projects happening already, like letter-writing campaigns where fans write letters to Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo telling them how much their love inspires them. Some fans are even saying they want to publish a book called Letters to Hye Kyo, with messages from all over the world. That's how huge this has become. But here's something really interesting, lovely viewers. After this letter story broke, Lee Min-ho was spotted in public wearing a simple bracelet that had an engraved date on it. Now, of course, fans zoomed in and tried to decode it, and many believe it's the date he gave her the letter. If that's true, then this isn't just a one-time gesture. This is a milestone moment for them, something they'll cherish forever. Now let's talk about the emotional depth of this whole situation. In today's world of quick texts, DMs, and emojis, how rare is it to see someone take the time to sit down, reflect, and handwrite their feelings? It's almost like stepping back into a time when love was expressed with patience and thoughtfulness. And that's why fans are saying Lee Min-ho has set the ultimate standard for romance. Not with flashy gifts or big announcements, but with something so simple yet so powerful. Lovely viewers, I want you to imagine this scene for a moment. Song Hye Kyo, sitting in a cozy corner of their home, maybe with a soft light glowing, opening this envelope with her heart racing. She unfolds the paper and begins to read, her eyes scanning each word, and as she gets to the final line, tears well up in her eyes. She smiles through the tears, clutching the letter to her chest, knowing that this isn't just ink on paper. It's Lee Min-ho's heart in her hands. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Because fans are saying this is the kind of love story people dream of, and they're lucky enough to be witnessing it in real life. And let me tell you something even more touching. Rumor has it that she didn't just keep the letter to herself. Some sources claim she read parts of it aloud to someone close, saying, "He always knows how to make me feel loved." Imagine hearing that from Song Hye Kyo herself. That's why people are calling this the most romantic moment of the year. And honestly, it might just be the most romantic moment of the decade. Now, as we continue this beautiful discussion, let's turn to you, my lovely viewers. What do you think about this? Would you want your partner to write you a letter like this? Or do you think words on paper can't compete with actions? Because honestly, this letter feels like both words and actions combined in the most thoughtful way. And do you think Song Hye Kyo will respond with her own letter? Fans are dying to know if she'll write one back or maybe even share a picture of it with us. Imagine the internet breaking if that happens. The last thing I mentioned was how Lee Min-ho has always been associated with romantic gestures, but this heartfelt letter, has truly taken things to another level. And now, fans are wondering, what does this mean for their future? Is this letter just an expression of love? Or is it a promise of something even bigger, something life-changing? Because let me tell you, the kind of language he used, those deep vows, and those tender promises feel like so much more than a simple romantic note. They sound like the words of a man who is ready to build forever. Now, let's dive into what fans are predicting because the theories are endless and getting juicier by the second. Some people believe this letter is Lee Min-ho's way of hinting at a second wedding ceremony, a private vow renewal for just the two of them. Why? Because one fan pointed out that the phrase, "until my last breath," its use sounds exactly like something you'd hear at a wedding altar. And honestly, when I think about it, they might be right. This could be their way of promising each other forever without the cameras, without the flashing lights. Just pure love. Others are going even further, saying that maybe this is connected to something even bigger. Maybe they're planning to start a family soon. And lovely viewers, let's not forget that line I shared earlier. I can't wait for the day when we sit under the same sky, watching our children laugh. That's not just a romantic statement. That's a dream, a vision of the future. And if that doesn't make you melt into a puddle of emotions, I don't know what will. And speaking of fans, their emotional reactions haven't slowed down one bit. In fact, they've gotten even more intense. Just last night, a video went viral of a fan reading the leaked lines of the letter while playing soft piano music in the background, and it already has over 1 million likes. People in the comments are saying things like, "This feels like a healing letter for all of us." And, "Lee Min-ho, you didn't just write to Hye Kyo, you wrote to the world." Isn't that beautiful? Because honestly, when love is this pure, it touches everyone who hears about it. Now, here's something even more heartwarming. Some fans have started writing their own letters to their loved ones because of Lee Min-ho's gesture. They're calling it the #letter challenge, where people share handwritten notes to show appreciation to their partners, friends, and even family. Can you believe that one man's act of love has sparked a global wave of kindness and romance? That's the power of genuine emotion. It inspires everyone. But wait, lovely viewers, let me share something you're going to love. Rumors are swirling that Song Hye Kyo may have already written her response letter. Yes, you heard that right. A few insiders are claiming that she spent hours writing back to him, and some even say her letter was sealed with a lipstick kiss mark. Can you imagine that? If that's true, then the internet will literally explode the moment that news goes public. People are already tweeting things like, "If Hye Kyo's reply leaks, I'm calling in sick because I'll need a whole day to cry." And honestly, same here. Now picture this because I know you love these visuals as much as I do. It's late at night. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo are sitting together on a balcony, the city lights twinkling in the background, a soft breeze flowing, and she hands him an envelope. He looks at her, eyes wide with curiosity, and she just smiles and says, "Read it later." That's the kind of scene fans are dying to see in real life. Doesn't it sound like a K-drama? But this time it's their reality, and that makes it even more magical. Lovely viewers, I know you're wondering, what else could have been in that letter? Because if the leaked parts are that powerful, imagine the sections we haven't seen yet. Did he write about the first time he saw her? Did he talk about the little things he loves about her, like how she smiles when she's shy or how she laughs at his jokes even when they're bad? Fans are saying the full letter probably has lines that would make even the coldest heart melt. And honestly, I believe it. Because when someone takes the time to write from the heart, every word is precious. Now let's talk about how this letter is being compared to other celebrity love stories. people are saying, "Forget fairy tales, this is the real thing." Some even say Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo have officially become the ultimate couple in the entertainment industry because their love feels authentic, pure, and timeless. And you know what? They might be right. Because this isn't about grand public stunts. It's about quiet, sincere moments like this that truly define love. Lovely viewers, as we continue, I want you to imagine something for me. What if, one day, they decide to publish these letters in a book? Can you imagine holding a copy of Letters between Min-ho and Hye Kyo? Fans would buy it in seconds, and it would become the most romantic bestseller of all time. Some people online are already saying they'd pay anything to read the whole thing. And honestly, I think that's a brilliant idea, because these letters aren't just personal, they're history in the making for fans who adore them. And speaking of history, let's not forget the impact this is having on their legacy as a couple. People will remember this moment for years to come. They'll say, "Do you remember when Lee Min-ho wrote that letter that broke the internet?" It's going down as one of those iconic romantic gestures that will be talked about for decades. Now, before we dive even deeper into what this means for their relationship, let me ask you again, lovely viewers. If you were Song Hye Kyo, how would you feel after receiving this letter? Would you cry, laugh, hug him, kiss him? Because fans are imagining all those reactions and more. Some say she probably read it in silence, tears rolling down her cheeks, while others believe she called him immediately and just said, "I love you." Which one do you think happened? Drop your guesses in the comments because this is the kind of discussion we live for. And trust me, we're not done yet because the emotional roller coaster of this love story is only going higher from here. The fans want more details, the media wants the full letter, and we just want to keep talking about it because it's too beautiful to let go.